Hi everyone, good morning. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. I'm having a great day. I am drinking my cup of tea this morning. I've got, a cup here. I'm drinking rooibos and honeybush. This is actually a really good caffeine-free tea if you're looking for that. It's a puka tea, and it's made from a tea in South Africa. It's the rooibos, and it's a very sort of dark red tea, um, strong taste, but no caffeine. So it's really perfect if you're a big coffee drinker and you want to save your caffeine for the end of the day. But anyway, I hope that you've got a cup of tea or coffee and that you're feeling good. You're feeling good about yourself and ready for a new day. Don't know what you've got planned. Maybe you're going to have a quiet day at home or you're traveling somewhere. Perhaps you are going to visit a friend or someone in the hospital that you know or someone who's not feeling so good. Perhaps you're volunteering. Or maybe you're going to do some crafts and go for a walk. So many things for us to do. And most people in our age group are looking for things that give their life passion and purpose. So I hope that you found both of those things in your day to day. Now, we have got some bloggers on 60andMe that are just fabulous. They write articles about all kinds of wonderful topics, things that I don't particularly know about, and doctors who talk about medical issues, for example. But we've got some who write about things that are very much of interest to very generic women in our age group. And Lisa Dunkel is one of those people. She's written a whole series of articles on 60andMe about how to live like a millionaire in retirement. And that sort of like a millionaire is an interesting concept. But she has written several articles and they always really resonate with our community and with me. And there's one that she wrote recently for her own blog that had a huge response. And so she wrote a similar article, something on the same lines for 60andMe, and I wanted to restate it in this video presentation because it, to me, is so important. And the theme of this article was, are you living where your soul feels at home? Okay, so what does that mean? Well, Lisa lives in the tropical jungle of Yucatan in Mexico. She longs to be in a cold, frosty city like Chicago. I live in Switzerland and I long to be somewhere where it's hot and sunny most of the time, like Bali, for example. So we all have this reality where we're living, and then we have the place that we long for. And that sometimes that place that we long for is really telling us a lot about ourselves. She gives some examples. She's got a friend who lives in New Jersey in a sort of an urban home, and she longs to live on a ranch in Wyoming. People live in one style of a house with their family or by themselves now, and they long to be in a beach hut. It's just that kind of, it is the grass is greener, but it's that what might have been. And especially if you, like Lisa, have lived in a place for 25, 20 plus years, it's your home, but it's not your home. So a lot of people often say, "Where are you from?" And you go, "Oh, what do you mean? Where was I born?" And not too many people these days are living in the place that they were born. I'm certainly not. I mean, I was born in London. I lived in Canada as a child. I went to the States when I was in high school, and then lived there for many years working. And back now, I live in Switzerland. Where's my home in that? All of that. And I think that's the important thing. So this is not just an issue for Lisa and for me. This is for a lot of women. And she's puts this forward. Is it an age thing? Is it that we get to a certain age and we think, I need to be where my soul feels at home. I need to be where I belong. And even if you've lived in a place for 25 years, it may not be the place. So it's really interesting. Of course, we've talked about this before. I mean, if you are have been a working woman, you've probably moved around because of your job or your husband's job, combination of family and work. Perhaps your children have moved to another city, so you've gone to be closer to your family. But somehow it's just that your 60-year-old self doesn't feel at home in any of those places. And I think that maybe we've outgrown them. Maybe we never really did belong there. Maybe we were only there for really reasons. But it's almost that kind of anywhere but here. Now, I don't know whether Lisa mentions this in her article, but I'm always reminded of that quote. I actually have it. I don't know if I can show you, but I have it in my diary. And whenever I travel, I take it with me and I put it up on the mirror or wherever I am in a hotel. And it says, this little quote says, "Wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are." The place changes. You don't change. So you bring with your yourself to these new places, you and all the complexity of you, the person that loves and hates and wants and doesn't desire. It's that kind of desire to be in the perfect place, but knowing that you're not perfect. So it's really complicated. So, as Lisa says, we actually think about in our 60s moving to that home that is where our soul feels comfortable, and is a lot of decisions to be made. Now she's trying to make this decision in her own personal life, so the article is very, very personal, and she is in an exotic place, but it's not that she's not happy, but she's just not comfortable. So she has defined her perfect place in her mind. She says it's a mid-sized city, it's sophisticated, excellent public transport, international airport. She's made the whole list, close and easy to the countryside. And she said, I've got it. I've described the city. It's Zurich, Switzerland. And she's right. And I live 20 miles from Zurich. And so for me, it's just down the street. For her, it's across the world. But she says that's her perfect city. But she said, I'd have to deal with Switzerland. And, without being any critical at all of Switzerland, which is a gorgeous country, it's not Mexico and it's not London. The people are different. They have a different culture. They have a different belief system. They have different ways of living, different priorities. They're always on time, to the minute. And you think that's a joke, and it's actually not a joke. It's totally serious. they are. I mean, my son and his wife have been living here longer than me, and they are probably really good at it. But they get to the train station 2 minutes before the train because they know the train will be there on time. They could bet their life on it. Whereas I'm always there 20 minutes before with a cup of coffee, waiting just in case it comes early or something. But anyway, it's Switzerland, and it's not where she wants to be. So I think that's the point that is made in this article, that wherever you decide to go, you take the past with you, you take your present with you, and you have to make compromises. And you have to be clear in your mind of how much you're prepared to compromise and how much you're prepared to accept in this new place. If you can compromise on those things and it's like 90%, then that move is worthwhile. But for Lisa, she's trying to decide. There's enough not going on in that ideal city for her that she doesn't want to make that move. So it's that love-hate relationship. So always take your past with you, and as Lisa emphasizes, always. You always take it with you. So you have to decide in your heart whether you're prepared to make those shifts. And it's not going to take away your problems. It's not going to take away the things that are in your life that you want to change. You have to find the home, according to Lisa, and I totally agree with her, in yourself. That sounds so superficial, doesn't it? And impossible. I mean, how do you do that? But that's the journey of being a 60-year-old woman. Being at home in a place requires you to be comfortable in your own heart, so that anywhere you go is going to be perfect. And I think that's the secret. So once you get that done, maybe that's what we have to invest a few years of our life trying to figure out, so that when we're ready, we can make that move to the place that is just the right balance. It's got enough of the elements of what we really, really want. So, as Lisa reminds us at the end of her article, if you can't make up your mind right now, this is why airplanes were invented. It's true. If you decide that you want to stay where you have been for 20 years, and 3 months out of the year, this is not a good place for you, go to that other place for 3 months or longer. Make that lifestyle shift, so that you're not constantly wondering, where is my soul going to feel at home? Trying to make this big decision. Just make the small decisions one step at a time. And if you desire to be somewhere else, then make a point of being there. I must admit, I'm talking to Lisa here. Maybe you're watching, but I'm really in the same place as you. And as you know, I've been going back to the UK on a regular basis because I need to be there now and again. I have another grandson there, of course. I have another son, but it's more than that. London's my home, in my heart. I don't know whether it's the place I ever will go back to live full time, but when I get there, I feel comfortable. I can even put my shoulders down. I can relax. I can understand the language. I know the way of life. I know what it's been through. I know what my parents went through. I know what my family was how it was part of my raising my children. So, maybe that's the place for me. Maybe that my soul is calling out for London, but not at the moment. At the moment, the scales are tipped to be here and to work, on 60 and Me at the level I am, and I'm totally happy. Anyway, I just thought that was a most interesting article, and I hope that you found it useful. I'd love your comments. I'd love your feedback in the section below. Just go ahead and leave your thoughts. I mean, are you happy where you live? That's the big question. Are you happy where you live? Do you want to move? What's stopping you? Okay, this is going to be a good one. I think that there's going to be lots of conversation on this. Thank you so much, Lisa, for writing this article and for putting it in our mind. And I'd love to know, are you happy where you live? Do you want to move? And what's stopping you? Those are 3 questions, but please take the time to think about it. It's important. So have a wonderful day, everybody, right where you are. Leave your comments to our questions, and I do look forward to seeing you all again really, really soon. Take good care, everybody. Bye-bye for now.